welcome everyone. Yes, yes, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday in our Miracles Attraction Challenge. And one of the wonderful things that Theresa and I get to do during this week is champion each of you, champion the miracles that you are bringing into your life, the new eyes that you're under, and the ways that you're being kind to yourself. So we are so lucky to have one of the people on today that we're interviewing championed us. Yes, when we were just, I was in a period of transition. Theresa was just looking into what she would be like to be doing and how we would share our voices. It was Lisa Natoli who really stepped us up to champion it, the two of us. So we asked her if she would come on this Wednesday when our theme is the space around you, be it your home, your environment, how you feel about the planet. Yes, just the room you have. If you have a room that you retire to, just taking another look about the miracles that you would like to put in place around your space, your home, and your environment. So that's what Lisa is going to speak about in our interview today. And in her short bio, she says, Lisa Natoli teaches healing as a natural ability that can be learned by anyone. I think that's my hope, Lisa. When she says it's natural, she always pointed out to us that it is within you. And she's the founder of the Healing Cure and the creator of the 40-day program for transformation. And I know that many of you may have participated in the 40-day program or the Healing Cure, like I have. And my favorite thing, Lisa, it still stays with me, is my holiness blesses this. In fact, I told Theresa, even when I use a sponge, I think that's what you used. My holiness blesses this sponge. My holiness blesses this car, the steering wheel, those around me. Those are the things that I've picked up from Lisa, and that she always saw the light in each of us so that now we can shine and bring this interview to you. Okay, Theresa.
Thank you, Carly. So I would just like to say, Lisa, how thrilled and delighted we are to have you with us here today, and to tell everyone in our group that the 40-day program that I did, which you created with the Teachers of God Foundation with your husband, Bill Free, was a huge turning point in my life. I went from 50 some years prior to finding that program filled with doubt, with worries, with anxieties, and those are all gone as a result of that program and several other programs that you created. So I can't thank you enough. I urge everybody to check out Lisa's website and find the 40-day program online. And without further ado, I will let Lisa take the floor and tell us her story.
Thank you so much. I am so thrilled, Theresa and Carly, to be here, and super excited for every member who's here for the changes that they're in store for them. And you asked me to share about a story that happened in 2008. And I know that the theme this week is about your space. I'll just back up a little bit. So I used to live in New York City. I had a big, successful life. I had money. I was working in marketing. I had everything the world says one needs to be happy, and I was miserable, right? Because you realize it's not the thing out there that's going to make you happy. And I ended up moving to this academy that no longer exists. But at the time, there was an Academy for A Course in Miracles in Wisconsin, and I moved there for what was supposed to be a 30-day retreat, and I ended up living there for 10 years. It was an amazing experience, but during that time, I didn't care about money. I worked when I had to. I just didn't have any money, and I was living in this little motel from like the 1950s, and I hated it. I didn't hate it at first, but I was just like, there was mold in it. It was little. but I did not have money either to pay the rent. It was just this period of like a lot of negativity in me, um, a lot of complaining, a lot of wishing my life was different. And I was saying to a friend of mine, I don't like living here. And she said, Lisa, you are so ungrateful. And she said, the universe can't ever give you anything until you're grateful for what you have. And it was like this light went off in my head. And at the time, I had been doing a lot of visualization and trying to manifest a nicer place and all that kind of stuff, which I no longer believe in. Like I know now, like everything that you want is actually in this moment. You just have to shift your perception. And I had $20 to my name. At that time, I didn't have any money. Like I'd get $10 here and there, and I'd buy cat food for my cats. And um, so it was just this time when I was like, I don't know how to make this work. And that gave me something that I could latch onto when my friend Greta said that, is it was gratitude. And this is, I practice and teach a course in miracles, and there's this lesson in there called love is the way I walk in gratitude. So I was like, zing, okay, I'm gonna just totally love on this place then. Like the universe can't give me anything until I totally love where I'm at. And that means getting rid of the idea of manifesting a better place. Like you can't do this to try to get something later. I took the $20, drove to Walmart, which was the only store around, and I spent all my money on cleaning products. I just thought, I'm going to transform this place. And I came home, and while I was scrubbing away the mold and I was making this place into just something that was beautiful, I was also working on my mind. So I was then finding things to be grateful for. It was a motel room. It had this one big window. And I was like, I love this window. I love all the light in here. And I love my bed. And I had one of those little refrigerators that, you get when you go to college. And I had one of those hot plates, that you can put a pan on and boil some water on or make spaghetti in or something. Like that was my kitchen, right? It was just on a counter. And I was like, oh my God, I love this refrigerator. Now, that morning, I hated that refrigerator. I thought I should get a bigger refrigerator, and I thought I should have a stove, and I thought I should have a separate bedroom, and I thought I should have a different this and a different that. But I was really determined to not pretend. You cannot pretend this work. You have to actually find things that you are really grateful for. And I really was grateful for the bed. I was like, oh my God, this bed is so comfortable. I sleep like a baby in this bed. And I had these two cats, and I had this little I had one of those cat doors so the cats could come in and out. I mean, they were super wild cats, and they just loved on me so much. And I was like, I love that cat door, and the cats can just come and go as they please. And I had a desk where I wrote every morning. I was like, I love this desk. I love that I can reach people. I just, it went on and on. And immediately you begin to feel this gratitude changing you. And that's really become how I live my life now. I realize we're not powerless. We're not weak. We're not frail. Each and every one of us has the ability and the power to access this gratitude, this joy, this love, this change of mind. It literally is just a switch. You're really saying, I'm not going to manifest anymore. I don't need to wait till later when I have more money. I didn't have more money. I was in the same place. I didn't move to another place. I didn't manifest anything. What did I manifest? I manifested my true self. I manifested the presence and the the gratitude that's needed. And so that's an important point here. So I want to thank you for the opportunity. I mean, there's another part of the story that I typically don't like sharing, but because what happened with that, because I never want people to think you're doing this to manifest something. And I fell in love so completely with that little room in that motel. I was like, oh my God, I don't need anything else. I don't want anything else. And at the time, I was working as an assistant wedding cook. I was doing weddings here and there. And the woman I worked with, she was very well known in the hospitality industry in that area in Wisconsin. And she heard of a B&B that was looking for an innkeeper, brand new B&B, huge, gigantic, brand new house on 10 acres in a lake. And it wasn't advertised because they needed somebody who, they didn't want to put it out into the public, but the local innkeepers knew about this opportunity. And so she said, I think you'd be perfect for it, Lisa. And I went there and it was like, fell in love with the owners of the house. They gave me the job on the spot. And now I'm living in this gigantic house, brand new. It's got like 5 bedrooms, 2 kitchens, 3 living rooms, 5 bathrooms. Every room's got a big, gigantic hot tub in it. I live on a lake, 10 acres. But I always hesitate to tell that part of the story. And that happened within like 2 weeks. 2 weeks after I went through that whole gratitude thing, because I don't want people to do this to think you're going to get something, because that's where you'll get tripped up. And now, years and years later, I mean, that happened in 2008, is I realized this, like, there's a lot of stuff that's happened since then, and manifesting is so little compared to accessing the gratitude and the love that's available to you now. So
Thank you, Lisa. We love hearing your
Thank you.
stories. Go ahead, Carly.
Yes, we are so appreciative. In fact, it's one of my favorite stories. So I asked her to retell it and know that it will touch each of you. Sometimes it is just that miracle of watching the light come into the room in a way that you haven't been cognizant of, that you haven't really been watching for. And that's what I appreciate so much about Lisa, is that you see the light in each of us. You really see our value and what we can become. And I'm just so deeply appreciative of that, the way that you have just been kept, just celebrating me till I could begin to see that for myself. So thank you. What honor it is to have you on this interview, and what an honor Theresa and I feel to be making this as fun as Lisa makes it for us. To share the laugh.
One of the things that I love
that
you said, Carly, was that you used the word see several times. And I love that, because that's really what the spiritual work is all about, is seeing what you couldn't see 5 seconds before. Like Jesus from 2000 years ago talked about opening the eyes of the blind. And that's what we do in life when we're wishing life was different, when we don't like our lives, when we're complaining, when we're comparing ourselves to others, which happens a lot on social media right now. We think, well, they have it better because they have money, or they have a business, and they have a nice house, and they have a nice husband, or they have this, or they have that. And we start comparing ourselves. That's just not helpful. And so when you open your eyes to the abundance that is available to each and every one of us right in this moment, you don't need another house. You don't need a partner. You don't need money. You don't need anything. What you need is to reconnect with the love that you are, and the gratitude, and at first it takes work. You might think, I can't find anything in this space to be grateful for. And to me, you have to just make it your priority to do it. So that's really what this is no longer sleepwalking through life anymore. It's really living in joy and gratitude and love.
So beautiful.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Lisa, can you tell everyone where to find you? Would you give your website?
Yes, thank you. My website is lisanatoli.com. And I have a free mailing list over there. So I send out, like Carly said at the beginning, I teach healing as a natural ability that can be learned by anyone, and healing made simple, really. And I like people to just come on and get a sense of who I am first, really, like just to get these emails, see if you resonate with them. And then for those who want to take it a step further, I have a program called the Healing Cure. And it really is just teaching true healing. Which is just what I'm speaking on today, is to connect and identify with your true self.
And do you have any last words of wisdom for us?
I don't have any words of wisdom. I'm so thrilled you two have started this business and just this beautiful idea brought to life. I know the both of you personally, and it's always a party. To me, it's always inspiring. It's always heart-centered. I mean, I'm just, when I heard the news this week that you were launching this and doing this, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be the best. So I just thank you for following your guidance to connect with each other and to take the scary steps of launching a thing, and trusting in the process, because that's a big part of it. And, I think that's all we're really ever asked to do, is to like stay connected to these thoughts that come to us and take the next step, and watch the mind when it goes, it's too big, it's too much, I don't know how to start this, who am I to do this? And you just say, I'm okay, I don't know, who am I not to do it, I'll do it. So I want to thank you both.
If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here.
Constantly delighted.
Yeah.
Yes, constantly delighted. It is. Your continued support has meant so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I love you.